Hello, this is Kurt Walder. One of the things that I've wanted to do is to convey the size of the White House, 170 feet wide and 7 stories tall, in one drawing where you'd look just straight into it. There's something about the formality of that composition that impresses people with the size. And while I was drawing out my perspective plans for all the different levels, I thought that maybe this kind of looks like a Christmas calendar. What I decided to do was to make a White House calendar. Crazy, no? My chief aim in doing a drawing like this is to show all the circulation devices, the staircases and the elevators that allow people to get from one level to another. So I decided to put them in first, and it was so complicated that I ended up making a separate notebook episode for my YouTube channel. It's notebook number 11, I Am a Big Place. And I think that if you're interested in how I draw the staircases and stuff like that, I'm going to leave it up so that it can be seen. Once the staircases and all the circulation devices are in, it leaves me with how do I cram in all of the rest of these rooms in a mere 10 minutes for the rest of this episode. And so I'm going to open the doors of the White House calendar. We'll start out with door number 1, which is the room 319 on the 3rd floor, which is right next to the elevator that goes up through the kitchens. It's a very complicated and little understood area of the White House, along with door number 2, which it's called the sitting room 319A. And I don't know what's in them, but I just draw them in anyway. Door number 3 is the corridor on the 3rd floor. This incredibly long, strange, bizarre room when viewed from underneath, is mostly just the bookcases. There's lots of furniture in the room, but it's all unseen from this angle. I fill in all of the books, individual books and pots and so on, during the coloring phase. Number 4 is a little tunnel that runs from the corridor to the eastern part of the 3rd floor. Next to that is number 5, which is the little itty-bitty tiny hallway that runs outside of what is known as the music room. Room number 6 is flanked north and south by trusses that hold the 3rd floor up. So it was filled with soundproofing material to be a music room. There's a staircase on the eastern side that was a devil to draw, and I got it in there somehow. Door number 7 is the famous West Sitting Hall with the lunette window. I have to punch through this because I don't know what it currently looks like, and I want to show the elevator and also the family kitchen that lies beyond. I have a fairly good idea of what that looks like now. Door number 8 reveals the 2nd floor center hall. Very important to the composition. I know what the colors are. After I get the stairs in, then I make a thumbnail sketch of how I want to tear out the walls and draw accordingly. Of course, I don't really always know where the torchures go, so I had to move these around on separate pieces of paper, but we will overlook that. Door number 9 is stair landing. a cubic shaped room with arched openings on 3 walls. Always interested in drawing this room. Door number 10 is the most challenging of all of them. Ramp, which is a ramp that goes from the stair landing to the east sitting hall to compensate for the extra height of the east room below. It also sort of obscures stair number 7, which is sort of a domestic staircase that goes from the second floor up to the third floor. Love this space, very complicated, very mysterious. Door number 11 is the east sitting hall. I thought that I could just flip the drawing of the west lunette window over and just trace it again, but it didn't fit. It's just one of those things where it just didn't work out, so I had to draw it all over again anyway. Door number 12 is the state dining room. It's a good example of how I layer things in. After drawing the kitchen and its elevator, spiral staircases, and dumbwaiters, I project the family dining room and the west cross hall doorway and then the north wall of the state dining room, or the parts that I want to leave in. Door number 13 is the cross hall and the entrance hall. I hadn't really drawn either of these spaces before, so it took a very long time to execute them, and I took very little footage while I was working on it because I felt like I was so far behind, but it's mostly a matter of putting in a lot of chandeliers, if you ask me. Door number 14 is the east room. I get my cartoons for the plan of the back wall, the north wall, in there, and then dimensionalize all of the relief pieces, the pilasters and the curtains and so on, and then I put in the window panes. This was followed by trying to figure out how to project the piano and the seats and the chandeliers, and there's a lot of moving parts to this room, let me tell you. Door number 15 is the ground floor level parts of the press corps office. Since door number 16 is the palm room, which has an outdoorsy feel to it, I've decided to make door number 17 a little potting shed. Every gardener needs a potting shed, right? Don't ask me why, but I've decided to make the entire ground floor central hall door number 18. We start out with the kitchen circulation stuff and then move past to the stairs and the elevator, past the curator's office and the grand stair, which the visitors use to reach the main floor, the state floor, past the library, and make an attempt to show stair number 6, which descends down into the basement mezzanine where there are some bathrooms. Door number 19 is the visitor's foyer. It's notable because the largest painting of Millard Fillmore. Yes, why not? Both door 20 and 21 belong to basement level press corps offices. And where there is a press corps, there is door number 22, where I keep the office supplies. I'm watching those very closely. Door number 23 is another unknown area in the basement mezzanine. It's devoted to storing the most used flatware and plates and glasses and so on. 24 is for the upper part of electrical rooms. Door 25 seems to be this odd space underneath the east end of the ground floor hall. And it's indicated on some plans that there's a staircase that reaches out into the east wing from here, so I've taken a swing at what it might be configured like. Door number 26 at the bottom of that stair is a snack room, I guess. Door 27 is a tantalizing area that is mostly deciphered from plans from the Truman renovation, electrical rooms for the elevator, there's a laundry, and some lockers. Door number 28 reveals the lower part of the electrical room. I conferred with a buddy of mine as to what kind of control panels would be in these rooms, and we walked through what they might look like. Opening door 29 reveals the elevator lobby on the basement level. This elevator stops here, but it is it's two-sided so that you can empty your load either direction. Door 30 is a space marked on the plans as storage. So I've drawn some boxes and stuff. That's what storage rooms look like. And finally, door 31. Since this is close to the snack room, I've decided that this is where they store a popcorn cart. So I think that my goal of revealing the White House as a very large 7-layer cake of offices and drawing rooms and so on has been achieved. I know that the pencil can kind of look a little bewildering, but I have it in my mind. I like how I'm going to make the rooms stand out from one another and how to shade it and all that. So that's what we'll be doing in our next chapter. I hope you can join us. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel if you would. Until next time, thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.